Hi everyone, Viathany Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Hannah Diamond record, Reflections. Pop singer and songwriter Hannah Diamond, who has been affiliated with the PC Music label for as long as many artists on the label have. You could say she was one of their biggest voices, as their unique approach to hyper-futuristic bubblegum bass was a hot commodity earlier in the decade. Singles like Attachment, Pink and Blue, Every Night were pretty essential not only in establishing a sonic calling card for the label, but also a visual aesthetic. But despite Hannah's somewhat alien voice and her retro-futuristic fashion giving PC Music a pretty bold look right out of the gate, her career feels almost like it's been treated as an afterthought in the greater PC roster. I mean, her debut single dropped in 2013. She played a pretty vital role on both PC Music compilations, and we're now just getting her debut album in 2019. Long after the label's most notable artists like Sophie and A.G. Cook have evolved past the sounds that originally put PC Music on the map. It's also kind of weird there are tracks on this project that are a year to 3 years old at this point. Whether or not you've been aware of everything that's happened with Hannah Diamond up until this point, Reflections is still 10 tracks and 39 minutes, and honestly, it's a lot more underwhelming than I thought it would be. Not only because A.G. Cook and Easy Fun's production on this thing is pretty tame by their current standards, not exactly pushing the envelope in the way they've been known to over the years, but there are just so many songs in the tracklist here that are fleeting, forgettable. And I'm just not sure how Hannah's heavily touched up and manipulated vocals play out long term, like over more than a few tracks at a time. While it has given her a unique aesthetic and a particular flair on singles and in small doses, the novelty of sounding like auto-tuned voice-to-text software with an English accent wears off after a while, especially when the hooks are bland and the instrumentation is underwhelming. I get it's a style, I get it's a sound, I get it's a vibe, but there's gotta be a bolder way of employing it than this. Because as is, the vocals, the instrumentation just feel one-dimensional, leaving multiple tracks here sounding like a total bore. The intro song Reflections, also the track Never Again. The very slowly paced True is outright tedious and maybe my least favorite track here. And even the song Invisible, which narratively sounds like one of the most relatable songs of the bunch, it's still difficult to get much out of it emotionally because its sound, also the lyrics, feel like I'm listening to something that is the result of programming an AI to produce pop songs that lonely teenagers will relate to, but obviously not trying to do that from a place of genuine emotion. It's more from a predictive algorithm. There are a few tracks in the track list here that have strong dance beats, maybe an experimental edge that I think is pretty cool. The song Fade Away, as well as Concrete Angel, whose final moments get pretty glitchy and abrasive, but I still wish the vocals had a stronger presence on both of these tracks. At the end of the day, the singing just sounds like another piece of synthetic ear candy in the mix that has no more presence or importance than anything else. There are a couple of gratifying pop anthems in the tracklist here, for sure. There is the song Shy, whose main melodies are so freaking sweet. They also contrast very well with the incredibly icy chords hanging in the background. The whole thing makes me feel like I'm skating across a starry sky in a tight, shiny sequin romper, and I'm feeling sexy. And the whole time, I'm voguing really hard. Meanwhile, the song Love Goes On, also a strong pop appeal on this one, and it's one of the few moments where Hannah's vocals have a pretty noticeable human touch. They don't feel quite as robotic as they do everywhere else, and I think this song is the better for it. And Fade Away, Make Believe, the ending tracks to the album, while they are nice, they're not anything new for Hannah. They're years old at this point. They don't really stick out in the track list because I think there's just not enough variety sonically across the runtime of the record. I feel as if their appeal has kind of waned over the years, and Hannah should be evolve past this sound at this point in doing something bolder and more interesting. At the end of the day, while I don't hate this record, and I think there are a lot of check boxes filled out here that essentially make this a genuine representation of the unique sounds and ideas that PC is putting out there on the pop landscape today. I just wish that Hannah and Easy Fun and AG just pulled out more stops with this record, just went all out on this album and tried to make it one of the bigger and more attention-grabbing statements off the PC roster, but that just didn't happen. Instead, they mostly played it safe with a sound they established well over 5 years ago and failed to expand on it in any major way over the course of 10 tracks. Feeling a strong 5 to a light 6 on this one. Transition, have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up, or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Hannah Diamond, Reflections Forever.